You have lived years of your life that are completely gone. Not forgotten, gone. You were there. You experienced things. You felt fear, joy, hunger, love, and your brain kept almost none of it. Scientists call it childhood amnesia, but that name makes it sound like a glitch. It isn't. It's one of the strangest features of being human. Think about this for a second. Right now, somewhere in the world, a 2-year-old is having the best day of their life. They're laughing at something. They're tasting something for the first time. They're fully, completely alive in this moment. And in 20 years, they will remember none of it. Not a single second. You were that child once. You had firsts that will never happen again. First steps, first words, first time seeing rain or snow or the ocean. And your brain, the same brain you're using right now to understand these words, quietly deleted all of it. The question that should be keeping you up at night is simple. Why? For a long time, the answer scientists gave was embarrassingly simple. Babies don't form memories because their brains aren't developed enough. End of story. Move on. But then researchers started looking closer, and what they found completely changed the picture, because babies do form memories. In 1987, psychologist Carolyn Rovey Collier ran a series of experiments at Rutgers University that proved infants as young as 2 months old could learn, remember, and recognize patterns. She attached a ribbon from a baby's ankle to a mobile hanging above the crib. The baby quickly learned that kicking made the mobile move. Days later, when placed back under the same mobile, the baby kicked immediately. It remembered. So the brain wasn't the problem. Babies were forming memories the whole time. They just weren't keeping them. Here's where it gets strange. The memories weren't being blocked. They were being overwritten. Between birth and age 2, the human brain grows faster than at any other point in life. New neurons are forming constantly, new connections being built every single second. And this is exactly the problem. In 2014, a team of researchers at the Hospital for Sick Children in Toronto discovered something remarkable. They were studying neurogenesis, the process of new brain cells forming. And they found that when new neurons integrate into the hippocampus, the part of the brain responsible for storing memories, they don't just add to what's already there, they disrupt it. New neurons rewrite the filing system. Old memories don't get archived, they get overwritten by the machinery of growth itself. Your brain wasn't deleting your childhood because it didn't matter. It was deleting your childhood because it was growing too fast to stop. But here's what nobody talks about. This process has a name. Scientists call it infantile amnesia, and it doesn't end at age 1 or 2. It ends somewhere between ages 3 and 7, different for every person. And the exact moment it ends, the moment your continuous memory actually begins, is one of the most personal facts about you. Think back right now. What is your earliest memory? Not something you've been told. Not a photograph you've seen so many times it feels like a memory. An actual moment you can see from the inside. For most people, it's something small, a smell, a specific quality of light in a room, a voice, a feeling without context. That fragment, that tiny, strange, specific thing, is where you begin. Everything before it is another person. A child who shared your face and your DNA and your name, who cried and laughed and learned to walk, who experienced years of a life you will never have access to. And yet, the experiences aren't completely gone. In the 1990s, researchers began studying what they called implicit memory, the kind of memory that lives in your body rather than your conscious mind. You don't remember learning to walk, but your legs remember. You don't remember the early emotional patterns of your home, but your nervous system does. Psychologists now believe that the relationships you formed before your memory switched on, the way you were held, soothed, responded to, shaped the emotional architecture of your entire adult life. The anxieties you can't explain, the things that make you feel inexplicably safe, the way you react when someone you love goes quiet. All of it was written during the years you can't remember. You are, in ways that matter enormously, a person built by a childhood you have no access to. There's something quietly strange about that. Every human being walking around on this planet carries the weight of years they can't see. A whole self, curious, emotional, learning, feeling, that existed before the self they know. And we spend our entire adult lives trying to understand who we are, reading books, going to therapy, asking questions, looking for patterns. When part of the answer has been locked away since before we could speak, maybe that's why certain smells stop you without warning. why some places feel familiar when they shouldn't, why some fears have no story attached to them. Your brain forgot. But something deeper didn't. You can't remember being a child, but that child never really left.